chapter 9, verse 1 to 8. After entering a boat, Jesus made the crossing and came into his own town. And there people brought to him a paralytic lying on a stretcher. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic, "Courage, child, your sins are forgiven." At that, some of the scribes said to themselves, "This man is blaspheming." Jesus knew what they were thinking and said, "Why do you harbor evil thoughts? Which is easier to say, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Rise and walk'? But that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins," he then said to the paralytic, "Rise, pick up your stretcher and go home." He rose and went home. When the crowds saw this, they were struck with awe and glorified God who had given such authority to men. The Gospel of the Lord. Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. Over the last 3 days, we have seen constant resistance coming about the ministry of Jesus. And he started on his way to the land of Gerasenes. He found the resistance of the sea, but of course he overcame that resistance and the sea became calm. Yesterday, we saw him in the land of Gerasenes, and he encounters these two fierce demoniacs, and they requested him not to be driven out before their appointed time. Today, Jesus is in his own hometown, a place where anyone could imagine that he was to receive the best reception. He was to be received with a lot of joy, but instead we find something totally different happening to him. This is similar to what happens to the prophet Amos in the first reading. And he is asked and indeed forced to flee from the land, to the land of Judah by Amasias, the priest of Bethel. And for your information, Bethel means the house of God. Could a godly man be chased from the house of God? This seems to happen to Amos. And all these are happening because on the part of Amos, he has prophesied doom for the king and for the land. He has requested, he has prayed, he has asked everyone to change and transform himself. He has called people to turn from their evil ways, otherwise they will be taken to exile. On the part of Jesus, he has brought light and hope in the life of a paralytic. And this doesn't seem to go well with those who thought they knew everything, that is the scribes, the interpreters of the law, the interpreters of the scriptures. They simply represented the system, the government system of that time, and they find that this is not going to go down well with them. In a way, Jesus happens to prophesy, or Jesus happens to bring to an end whatever they have been holding on to. And it is for this reason, when they are challenged beyond what they always believed, that they start this kind of resistance that we find them bringing about, asking Jesus or telling him that he is blaspheming. Quite often it is said that east or west, home is the best, but it doesn't seem to be so with these two men, the prophet, God's prophet, and of course God's son and king. They do not seem to be well received at home. They seem to have been rejected. They are being criticized for the good work that they are doing in their society. Some of you, dear listeners, could be going through the same experience. You could be finding resistance and criticism wherever you want to bring about change, wherever you want to bring about transformation, whenever you want to bring about justice. You always face resistance. Many of us quite often do not feel at home because of the good changes that they have dared to bring, and they find resistance even from their parents, from their brothers and sisters, from their children, and from people that they could not even imagine that they will ever be against them. I wish to encourage you today with the following words. First, when you face this kind of resistance, remember, you are in the world, but you are not of the world. These are the words of Jesus as he said his priestly prayer for his disciples and for all those who would follow him. And he said that as a prayer. And as such, I want to assure you that God is on your side and Jesus prays for you once again. And at the end of the day, he will save you from this situation. The second thing that I want to encourage you with is that do not be conformed, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that you may discern what is God's will, what is good and pleasing and perfect. These words are taken from the letter of St. Paul to the Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. Accepting to conform yourself with the current standards means that you have been beaten in this battle. We are not going to easily accept being beaten like that. We have to fight on, and our fight will not be with flesh and blood, will not be with weapons of this world, but by our own transformation. We will never cease to become good examples that will always become better models for the future. The third thing I want to encourage you with is submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. These words are taken from the letter of James, chapter 4, verse 7. When you do not conform with what the devil is subscribing or is ascribing to you, that is when you will defeat him. Rather, you will never defeat him because you have welcomed him and embraced him. Remember once again, you are in an evil world that will always want to drive you down into its evil ways. But if you resist these evil ways, then the devil flees from you. When Jesus resisted the devil in the desert, he fled from him. He left him. And that one will also happen for you. Finally, I want to encourage you by asking you to continue offering yourself as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. These words are taken from the letter to the Romans chapter 12, verse 1. And when you have done all this, you will have what this paralytic receives at the end of the day. Number one, he has his sins forgiven. That means he does not just go home whole, he also goes home made righteous. Just because of this resistance, you can use your resistance for your own advantage. Do not waste the resistance that you face in your life. Do not face the battles that you have to fight. Do not waste those opportunities that seem to be against what you desire that they may be for you. The paralytic, because of this resistance, goes home already healed and forsaken. And finally, he goes home already healed, and of course, he has also his sins forgiven. And finally, I want to tell you that your insistence on what is good, what is righteous, what is holy, and what is perfect is the only thing that will enable you to rise and walk. And this time, when you rise, when Jesus asks you to rise, you will be the one to carry the stretcher that brought you to the place where he is. Jesus wants you to go back home carrying the stretcher that brought you here. And indeed, he will do it. He has power. He has shown that he is capable, and he is also capable of doing it for you. The Lord be with you.